What's every and we'll just do it again and action. What's up, everybody out there in television land and the internet? Michael Hurdle here from the Michael Hurdle Production Studio, helping you render your imagination when it comes to video production, 3D animation, and visual effects on a small or no budget at all. Now, I want to get straight to the point with this because this DazToMaya bridge is really kind of getting on my nerves, and I'm sure it's getting on a lot of other people's nerves. Here's the situation. You have Maya 2022 installed. You want to still use DazToMaya bridge, but you want to use version 1.7. But every time you open up your Daz and you click on DazToMaya, version 1.6 pops up, if you're lucky. Because in Maya 2022, DazToMaya version 1.6 is not working correctly. And then I found out why is because, which we already know, by default, Maya 2022 over here uses Python 3 by default for its main script editor or whatever it does behind the scenes. Most of our plugins, like DazToMaya 1.6, used Python 2, allegedly or probably, right? So the problem is that we're going to Daz to see if we can get the Daz to bridge. Now, DazToMaya bridge did update. This is from actual Daz because it's free. DazToMaya is a free plugin that you can put into Maya and Daz Studio where you can interchange models from Daz and bring them into Maya, which is awesome. I love it. The only problem is that we're having a little bit of script problems and it's driving us insane. So I'm going to try my best because you see I got it right here. I can just import right now, but I just want to show you guys from scratch. I've already done it. I'm not going to override mine because it's a nightmare. Because when you have Daz 1.6 installed, remove that completely. Get that out the way because you're going to have problems with that. Get that out the way. It's non-existent if you use Maya 2022. Now, here's the situation. Let me minimize Maya so you can see. Let me open up a browser. First thing I would say for you to do is go to Daz and go to their forum, their community area right here, and go to forums. Then you can scroll down and you'll see Maya discussion. When you click on Maya discussion, this is the discussion that we're looking for. So we'll click on DazToMaya update 1.7, right? So this is where people are having issues and stuff like that. Now, it works perfectly fine in Maya 2020. I still have Maya 2020 installed, but I'm using Maya 2022 because of all the new features and all that stuff. And plus, I want to get used to it, you know? All new updates equal hopefully better things. So we're going down here. There wasn't really that much information, but this user here, Werewolf Johnson, put a link here, which is awesome because that link is what saved the day. I'm not too sure if this is directly from Daz or I don't know where this is from, but it works. And this is what you need to click on right here. So github.com/Daz3D/DazToMaya. I'm going to click on that right there. And if you can't write this down or whatever, I'll make sure to put a link in the description of this video. So when I went to this site here, I was mega confused. I was like, do I download each one individually? And when I clicked here, oh, it confused me more. I was like, oh my God, I can't do it. So I was like, screw. But then, just because I'm a newbie about scripts and all that kind of stuff, and it gives you all the information here, which I will show you step by step. But easiest way, you don't even have to click on any of these things here. You see where it says code? You click here once with the left click, and you go download zip. It's going to download this zip file directly to wherever your zips are located or wherever your downloads are located. I'm going to show this folder. So I already have two of them, so I'm just going to bail on one. Oops, I'm going to bail on one and I'm going to bail on this one so you can just see what exactly I'm talking about. This is the zip file you're going to get. Everything that you saw on this website here is in this zip file. Oops, let me just bring this back up, sorry, into the downloads folder. So now I would just simply, I have WinZip, so I'll extract it here. It'll unzip the folder. Whatever you use to unzip is good too. Double click on it, and these two folders. Now these you can kind of ignore because I didn't really do anything with these and it worked. So the most important folders are Daz Studio and Maya. These are the two folders that you have to. Now what you have to do is, this says Daz Studio. So this is telling you to, whatever contents is in this folder here, you have to replace it with your current folder on your computer called Daz Studio. Same thing with Maya. So you just have to replace these folders with the contents of these new scripts that's been updated. So if I'm correct, don't quote me, but if I'm correct, this script that we got on GitHub just now allows Maya to run Python 3 and Python 2 allegedly. I'm not too sure. I didn't get behind the scenes. But it allows you to run them both simultaneously. I'm not really a script person, so I really have no idea. But I know it works. So let's get started. Now this I already have zipped onto my desktop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize all this here. And I already created a folder here on my desktop. I know this works. So let's get it started. What I'm going to say, let's start off with the Maya folder. So double click on the Maya folder and it says Maya app directory. So when we go in here, it says plugins. Then it says you have to drop this content in the plugins folder of Maya. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new folder. Hopefully, where are you? File Explorer. And I'm just going to minimize this so it can be like right here so you guys can see. And then I'm going to minimize this one too so you guys can see too. It's going to be confusing, but remember where your folders are because you don't want to accidentally overwrite the wrong thing. So this is the master. That's why the person who made this said master. So remember, keep it in the master folder. So with me, my directories, we're going to start off with Maya. So I already know in my profile, I know that Maya is installed. Maya 2022 is installed in the documents folder. Then here you go. There's a Maya folder right here. Double click on that and then you see the folders that you're supposed to see. Now I thought you had to click here and put it in here, but that's a different story. We're going to double click on Maya in the master folder. Then we're going to go to app directory and plugins, and you see the plugins right here. We're going to double click here and we're going to double click on the master. Select both of these master files once you're in your profile, documents, Maya, plugins. And then right click and just copy all those there. I already did it, but if you have old files here, delete that because you're going to have problems. Use the one that we just got from GitHub. So that's step one. Now we're going to go back to the master and now we're going to see scripts. So we're done here. This is on my computer on my documents folder. Go back a couple times. Now we have to go to where it says scripts. So double click here in the scripts, right in the same folder, right under plugins. If you have it set up that way, you have to find your plugins folder. That's going to be tricky, but once you find it, it'll work because sometimes they're in different locations. And then you do the same thing here. Double click here and then right click and copy. And there's going to, well, if you have that before, delete it. Or if you want to, you can do an overwrite. And then that's it for the Maya folder. That's done. So now here was a tricky part that got me. The DAZ Studio. Now, realistically, if you go to this PC and you go to the program files and you go to DAZ 3D, you're supposed to see DAZ Studio here. Well, on my other computer that I was using, it didn't have this here. But sometimes, just sometimes, it'll be on your main C drive. So you double click here and it will be DAZ 3D here, and then in applications it will have DAZ Studio. I don't know why it puts it there sometimes, but the one at my other computer put it there. So in case you don't see it in the program files under DAZ 3D, DAZ Studio, you have to copy the contents from this DAZ Studio to this DAZ Studio, which is kind of complicated, but it's weird. So on the master, you double click on DAZ Studio. This right here, app directory common _ common. So now you have to look for the scripts folder in your DAZ 3D folder on your PC. This is for Windows. So we're going to look for a folder called scripts on the hard drive, on my hard drive. Double click on scripts. There we go. Double click on scripts. Support. Double click on support. Right? And then DAZ. Double click on DAZ. And then on the master, this DazToMaya must go here in this right here. So what I would do before, copy it, and if it's not there, it'll plant itself there. But if it's there, overwrite it or delete the old one first because you don't want the old one. So just save it in a different folder in case you don't want to do that. Okay, so let's move on. There's a lot of work to do with this. So now these scripts here are already planted where they need to be planted, but you still now have to launch DAZ, because when you do that, you have to have Maya closed and you have to have DAZ Studio closed, because if you leave them open and you do this and you go into DAZ or Maya, it's not going to show you because it didn't load the scripts. You may have to go in there and refresh it. So let's start off with Maya. So I already have this tab here, but if you come up to open up Maya and you don't see the DAZ 3D tab, go to Window, Settings and Preferences, Plugin Manager, and then DazToMaya.py will be right where you put it. See in the Documents folder, Maya plugins, it'll look for it right there. Click Load and click Auto Load. It'll auto load when you start. If you don't see this here, do a refresh or do a browse and point the browser directly to where you have your plugins. Hopefully it works. It's going to tell you it's in a foreign location. You can click yes, but good luck. But if you put it in the right place, it'll work perfectly fine. So we'll close that out. So now we know, bam, this works now. DazToMaya version 1.7, and this drove me insane for 3 days. That's why I'm doing this video, because I know for a fact there's someone out there that had the same problem with me and was about to give up like me. And I like to give back to the tutorial community and my 3D and visual effects brethrens and sisterins who've been going through this. I hope this video helped. Let's keep moving. So now what you have to do is go into Daz. When you open up Daz, you should see a script folder here. If you don't see a script folder here, you may have to redo the whole process all over again, get rid of all the scripts and all the plugins that you had related to DazToMaya, put them in a different folder or save them somewhere, and then redo the whole thing again, because this is the key right here. If you don't have the scripts right here, you're not going to make it. So then bridges, and then I don't know why this one's here, but DazToMaya bridge. That's what you need right here. So let's do an example real quick to see how it looks. Now I'm going to go into my folder that I usually save. Well, as a matter of fact, let's talk about this. When you save these scripts to DazToMaya, it creates a temporary folder where all this goes. Now you can go to, in your Windows, I'm using Windows 10, so you can go to Start, this PC, double click on, this is my main drive where all my stuff is on here, right here, the main C drive. It's going to create a folder called Temp 3D. It's empty right now. I don't have anything in there. What I did is that I put a shortcut here so I can just click on it so I can see what goes into this folder. So I'm going to minimize that real quick, and I'm just going to go and I'm going to create a figure real quick. And I'm going to create, I'm going to look for one of the males that I have, like, let's just say, I don't want to get too picky or whatever. I just want to pick somebody normal. Like this guy, make a figure. And, of course, Daz is going to take its time and bring in the figure. Great. And now you have this figure here. And I just want to throw some stuff on him real quick. I just want to put some clothes on him before YouTube's algorithm kicks in and smacks the smack out of me. And put some regular clothes on him. Give him a full outfit that I bought online. And now he has a full outfit. Do I want to give him hair? Of course I want to give him hair. There's hair right here for him. Let me give him a mohawk. There you go, bruh. Give you a little fade. Got that on Daz 3D for like $14. Nah, I don't like that mohawk. Oh, okay, that's why. On my other monitor was giving me. I'm just gonna accept it so it can make that look non-hobo-ish, hopefully. Because when you mix Genesis characters with other old Genesis characters, it does wackiness. But I'm just trying to do an example. I apologize for this video being mad long, but I'm sure you guys will appreciate it if you're having the same problem. Yeah, sometimes that does that. It says not responding, but it's still thinking back there as long as I'm not doing anything back there. So let me just tell you what's going to happen while it's creating this character. Once I'm finished creating this character, I'm going to go up to the scripts folder here, and I'm going to export it to DazToMaya. It is then going to do this here process, and it's going to create some files on this folder here that's empty. Now I like to keep it empty because it is a temp file. So every time you do a model, you should always save your model somewhere else, because when you do this again, it overwrites this. You're screwed. So, but let's just say this worked. I don't know if I'm gonna have to cut this video or whatever, but if it takes long, I might just have to cut it. But if what the hell's going on here? Come on, Daz. But anyway, besides that, and once it does that, then what you'll do, I'm going to give this a few more seconds and I'm going to cancel this. Come on. Okay, that froze itself, but it's okay. I'm going to close that real quick. All right, so we're going to start again. I have a dual monitor. I actually have a widescreen monitor, so I'm using this program that will allow me to show certain parts of my screen. So if you see certain parts cut off, I'm sorry. We're going to use this guy right here. I'm going to make it real simple, because I don't want that crash thing to happen to me again. I don't know if it's doing that because I'm using the recording software. All right, so we got this dude here. Let's put some clothes on him real quick. Wardrobe. I'm just going to put anything on him. Hopefully he doesn't crash again. Let's see what happens this time. I'm not even going to put any hair on this guy because I don't feel like dealing with that. So now you have your finished character. I'm going to tell you one thing for sure. If you pose this character into a specific pose, FBXs don't export poses, so you're screwed. So don't even bother reposing this character unless you want to export him as a object file. That holds poses, but then it's going to be a nightmare because you have so many vertices and faces on there, you can't even see through it. But let's say you like this. You select this character here, scripts, DazToMaya, and it's going to do its magic. Now, behind the scenes, let's go into the 3D temp folder. It's going to start creating files here. once, let me do a refresh, see if anything changed. It's going to start writing files to this temp folder here. Then when it's finished writing the files to the temp folder, which you see in the background here, never mind. When it's finished writing these files, this is a simple character, so hopefully this won't take long, because usually this takes like 5-10 minutes, and I just walk away and I get something to drink or something, or use the bathroom, or take a push-up break or something. Oh, look like it's almost done. We'll hang out for a little bit. I don't mean for this video to be 15 minutes long. I apologize, but I'll be honest with you, this is something that I know someone will appreciate. And if you do appreciate it, leave it in the comment section of this video, because, man, this thing was a nightmare. So look, it created 2 files here. But when you go into Maya, now that it's imported already and it's in that folder, Maya is going to, this DazToMaya version 1.7 is going to look for the temp folder, which I showed you earlier. And I'm just going to leave everything the way it is and push auto import. I don't know how long it takes. Usually it takes a while to export from Daz into that 3D folder and then import. But then I noticed that when I do that, when I import it into Maya, it makes a third icon now. And I guess it puts all the maps and the texture maps and everything it needs to reference to. So that's great, because my problem with OBJs is when I export OBJ from Daz, I don't really have that many options to preserve the texture, because sometimes I'll export with the exact same settings and it will not export the textures. But then again, when I do the exact same export, it exports the textures. So I'm like, man, what the hell is going on? I'm confused here. So that's your temp folder. Remember, everything in this temp folder here is only temp. So when you import it into Maya, your best bet is to save your files with its own textures in a separate folder. So just in case you forgot, you can have everything saved separately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this character to be imported, because with this new script now, with some characters being imported with assets and props, it's all over the place sometimes. Like I had a soldier, he had a hat on, he had his army weaponry. Now, before you guys go on, let me move on with this. See, now this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Because now I can just grab this character and I can just do whatever I want with him. And I don't have to worry about doing it in Daz, because I'm not really a Daz person. I just like Daz for the characters and clothes and just the fully, already rigged characters, which is great for me. So let me put him back the way he was. So here's the thing. If you guys are using Arnold like I am, and this is the problem that a lot of people are having, especially me, if you zoom into this character and then you zoom into the eyelashes, right now, if you render this, it's gonna have some jacked up looking eyelashes. You're not gonna see. It's not gonna preserve the transparency. Here's the thing that you have to do before you close this. Go and hit convert. If you're using V-Ray, click V-Ray. But if you're using Arnold, click Arnold. And then what's going to happen is that this right now, if you're using Arnold and you know you're going to render this in Arnold, your best bet is to just convert the textures to Arnold right now. So if you want, you can save this under two different textures, the regular default textures and the Arnold textures. If you want, you can do 2 different saves. But when you do save it as Arnold, the skin color will change. So let's see. See? Completely changed. But when you render this out, let's do a quick render real quick. Like I said before, I apologize for this video being long. I usually don't like to make long videos, but this one is necessary because there's so many people asking questions on those forums, and I feel as though, I did it, and I don't want to be one of those guys to be in the forum, get the information, and then bounce, and then be like, I got what I wanted, screw you guys. That's not fair. So I'm gonna see if I could, give some contribution back. I'm just gonna find a nice HDRI image. That's good right here. I like this. And then I just put this to the side because I don't want to close that yet. But now when you render it, if you do a quick render with Arnold, you'll notice that the textures and the eyelashes and everything are good, and it uses the transparency, because if you don't click that convert after it's in there, you're going to have a lot of problems. Yay, there we go. See? And if you zoom into the eyes now, it's not that stupid, weird, look like they have like some type of thing on their eyelashes. It looks a little better because you need the Arnold textures, so that's important. And then the last but not least, I'm just a perfectionist. That's why I'm doing this. But last but not least, you can then, play around with it or do whatever you want to do with it. And then, most important, file, save as, and then save it as, let me just put test. So now, you put it as a test. Sweet mash, I'll just put it in that folder because I'm going to delete that folder. It's going to save everything with the textures, and then when you open up a new program, once it finished saving, of course. I think I kind of, okay, good. And then once you open it up again, test, it should save it with the correct textures, because if you don't, you're screwed. But I know this video is pushing 20 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. Leave if you have any questions, and I just want to have an open discussion in the comments section, because I mean, you could share things, and if you guys like this style of video or whatever, let me know. And if it worked out, give me a thumbs up, and if you think it didn't work out for you, give me a thumbs down. I don't care. You know, it's your prerogative. My name is Michael Hurdle from the Michael Hurdle Production Studios, rendering your imagination, and I'll talk to you guys the next time I do a video. Laters.